Hello, it's so nice to see you.
Same, same. Great to see you.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Neus Gil Cortés. I am the artistic director of Nua Dance, and we have a piece called Noise that I'm really keen to talk to Anna about because she was in our R&D last December, so she has a very good idea of what we're trying to achieve. Anna and I met some years back in New York at a choreographic residency and then became friends. And I really value her opinion. So I feel very lucky that she is with me today talking about noise.
Hello, my name's Anna, and I'm a contemporary dancer. I'm originally from Australia, but I moved to London around 7 months ago because I got a contract with a dance company called Canduco. So I moved to London, and I have a 2-year contract with them. So I was living in Melbourne for around 14 years and commuting to different dance productions. I've been choreographing, dancing, so sort of a little portfolio of different roles and hats. And I was a co-founder of a dance company, the Delta Project.
Do you find noise as a subject interesting? What do you find interesting about it and a bit more about your perspective on noise?
So for me, this concept of noise, I was born profoundly deaf. I am deaf, so I live in a deaf world. And so, yes, we experience noise, environmental noise, and around us, I feel noise, I see noise, I experience noise. So it's not necessarily that I'm hearing noise, but I experience noise. So there were noises I could pick up when I was younger, but I think for me, noise is a feeling. It's I was reading this book about it was written by a blind author, and they were sort of describing what it was that they saw, and they were saying that so many people just assume that if you're blind, then you see absolutely nothing. It's just pitch blackness. That's people's immediate go-to assumption. And again, I think it's the same for deaf individuals. I think many people within society just assume that all deaf people are the same and they can't hear anything. But I mean, our world is so full of noises. There's so much visual and sensory overload of noises that we all experience in different ways. And I think the same with online, just the world there, the online digital space of just Zoom and just watching the news, and just the amount of information and noise that's coming at us from that one square of space is crazy.
I love it. I am very interested in all of these experiences of noise, also the noise in our heads, the kind of constant blur of things that we tell ourselves, things that we all that we think are expected from us, and it's like an external judgment. um so all of that for me is noise, and also noise as in having to make some noise to provoke change, so something about the power of getting together and claiming something, that is making noise, in the sense of, you know disturbance in the sense of, yeah, of not wanting things to be completely perfect and only one way. I think that's the other thing that really interests me about noise, is that it's not, it's not objective. It's not something that it's away from you. It's something that really invades you, and it's like overwhelming you. So you cannot be objective.
Yeah, for sure. I think that that word noise, there's an automatic link with audio, something that you can hear. But it's not. It's not only do we associate and experience noise through our ears, through that audio experience. It's a form of expression, and we can give and receive that expression of noise.
Yes. Also, noise music, I have to say I only heard one track because it's really disturbing. But it's made to be disturbing because it's about, how do you react to that disturbance, you know? It reminds me also of the experience of giving birth, in the sense that it's so painful that your mind can only concentrate on that. There's nothing else. It can only concentrate on that. And noise, in the wider sense of the word, is about an experience that is exclusive, and it kind of like overtakes all of your senses.
Absolutely, wow, amazing. Gosh, just that story. I think being so immersed in in that in the oh in the zone. Yeah, really just so in that zone, in that moment. It's actually when I'm dancing, that's it. I just completely go to a place, and just again, it's that immersive experience, and that outside life just disappears through those moments of dancing. My all my focus is purely focused in that moment of dancing, and I love that zone. When I get there, when I'm there and fully engaged, that's just amazing.
I love it. Um, so now about the piece, noise as a piece. I have a question for you, because you watched both the live version and the online version. And this year we are creating the online version. So I would be very interested, sorry, to know, what do you look for from an online experience? How can we make it something that is, interesting, that is um, really immersive, as you were saying about the experience? So how can that screen, which is flat and in front of you, how can we make that into this immersive experience that we're after? If you have any ideas.
Woo! Well, good luck is what I'd like to start off with. I mean, I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm overly knowledgeable about that particular field, and I tend to avoid online performances because. So well done! I congratulate you and I applaud you for taking that on. Um, and I can see, well, from having seen your digital online performance, it was most definitely a different experience from the live show, live rehearsal. And I think there's definitely immersive elements. There's that immersive connectivity that's possible to achieve. And so the way you were using the cameras and the way that the cameras were moving around and following the journey, I thought that was great. And that really drew me in, actually. And it made me feel actually like I was underwater in moments when there was that blurring and the moving of the cameras. So it wasn't, the focus was really blurry. It wasn't that sharp set frame. The lenses were being played and blurred. So you got that sort of feeling of being underwater. So that I found really enticing. And I was watching it with a friend actually, and my friend's a dancer as well. So that was really interesting watching it with them. And we were sort of obviously chilling at home, and it was interesting because nobody was actually watching us watch the performance. So we didn't have to behave ourselves and be quiet and sort of, bring along our theatre etiquette. We could sort of have a little chat whilst watching it and kind of go, oh, what do you think that's about? Or, oh, okay, and maybe have a discussion about the theme and go off on little tangents. And so there was that interactivity, not only looking forward to the performance, but between us as well in that space. And I think that's actually really good and brings something quite interesting into that space of online performances. And I think people are going to be more comfortable when they're watching a performance from their own homes. So, if you compare it to going to the theatre, maybe you feel a little bit like, oh, I don't quite feel very comfortable because of the culture. It's sort of the sometimes people can feel, oh, this is a bit of an elite environment, and maybe they don't feel like they belong as much as they want to be there and enjoy it. And sometimes it can have that air to it. And I think when people can experience that from their own home, they feel far more comfortable.